Okay, and we're back, and I've got a video loading in the background, so I'm gonna hope and pray that this doesn't lag like a motherfucker. Thank you for returning back to Spelunky, picking up exactly where we left off with the last video. We're finally at 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. We've finally escaped the hell that was the tutorial zone, and I'm still not that good at the game, but aside from that, I think I'm doing pretty good. I gotta say, it's been pretty rewarding trying to do all this recording and trying to do something a little bit different with my time instead of just nothing at all. I feel like I've been wasting my time, man. To put it in no short order here. So I figured, if I'm gonna play these games and mess around, might as well try to do something with that. Might as well invite you all on the journey with me, and we'll find out together. Even though this game is almost 2 decades old, and I'm sure everyone knows all of the ins and outs of the game, I'm sure some people might find it a bit rewarding or enjoying to see someone who doesn't know what the hell they're doing, trying to figure it out for the first time, maybe relive the experience of this game for the first time. Or maybe you just want to make fun of me for not being good at video games, which honestly, I respect that. I respect that. I'm not very good at video games, which is wild considering I've been playing video games all of my life, as far as I can remember. You'd think I'd be at least a little bit decent at them by now, but it's about having fun. It's not necessarily about being good. Because if it was only about being good, then like, what's the point of video games? If it's just another chore, another hassle. The whole point of video game is to just unwind, relax, have fun, testing yourself, of course. So no harm, no foul in trying to get better and trying to improve. There's never anything wrong with trying to improve. And I feel like I'm doing that a little bit. I feel like I'm improving a little bit. No longer feeling like I'm improving, so I'm just gonna get please tell me I didn't fuck myself. I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't need to continue down that path. We're good. So 1-1 completed, I think I did pretty good. I feel like I missed every single thing in that level, but shit. I think we're off to a good start. Not doing nearly as much running as I want to be doing. I'm definitely buying some bombs. Alright, so web gun, machete, freeze ray. I feel like the machete will do so much better for me than the stupid ass whip. But honestly though, the gun, I feel like the gun I might have just wasted my fucking time. I'm gonna, yo, what up? Wait, so I have both now, or am I toggling them? Well, that's not helping me out. Value, yeah, I wish I had those still. Machete, shoots. Okay. But how do I use it? Well, that's a bomb. That's actually just me wasting a bomb. That's no good. Excuse me? Don't tell me I need keys for some of these. Why can't you just make it easy on me, man? I'm a fucking boomer, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. As evidenced by this horrific showing. That's not the bomb. That's the bomb, but it's not gonna explode what I want. Nope. Actually, that did not anything that I wanted. You fuck. Yo, he's gatekeeping me, brother. What the fuck? That's not fair. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb, say that's not fair. If there's a dog in this level, I'm not finding him. Unless he's like right by the end, I'm not finding him. I can almost goddamn guarantee you that. I'm not finding much of anything. Not anymore. Yang was right, the layout of the caves are changing all of the time. That's true, it's true. So if I continue, I'm back here. Okay, and that's just playing the tutorial again. So I should have just hit quick restart. Why didn't I hit quick restart? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too goddamn stoned out of my gourd, which is wild considering how I haven't had anything to smoke today. I think maybe if I did a little smoking, maybe I'd be better at playing Spelunky. Maybe I wouldn't be grabbing everything I don't want to be grabbing. Drop a bomb, please. Get the fuck out of the way! And we survived. With hearts and limbs attached. Bones? Alright, I'm just kind of schmoozing my way through this because I don't want any of that ghost's fucking hogwash, to be honest with you. To be honest, that is not really something that I'm wanting. Okay, I'm freaking out a little bit. Sorry, dog. Ugh. That's what I get. I should have thrown the dog at the enemy. Maybe that would have helped. I'm gonna quick restart and not go through the trials and tribulations. So is it the same layout now? But if I like fully left, it would have changed, or is it? It looks the same right now. Actually, no, it doesn't, because there's a spike trap up there that absolutely obliterated something at the very beginning of the last run, but it wasn't me. It was not me. But that was me. That was all me, ladies and gentlemen. And I did it. What the hell? Who are you? Who is she? She doesn't go here. Future site of the shortcut station. Meet me at the end of the mines. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. Well, let's try this one more time. At the very least, let's get to Mines 1, 2 again, and then I'll see if I want to try to continue on in this video, which I might. I want to try to not have these videos be so long, because I do get worried. I know that people aren't necessarily going to want to watch a 30-minute long video of someone constantly messing up at a video game, but I don't know. I kind of take it like a slow TV kind of thing, like just watching someone playing a game, just chilling, we're having a good time. I might not be physically in the room with you, but you know, I'm here with you right now, at least in a sense. The rats, they don't do anything. The snakes do everything, and everything that I don't want, actually. I do want to try to keep things a bit on the lighter side, lower like side is what I'm trying to get at. As much as I enjoy playing for long stretches of time, I feel like it's an easier digest for people to you know, just get shorter videos maybe. Oh, I mean, this video might be fucking an hour long if I keep making these kind of plays. Oh, nah, never mind. We take those. We take those right to the dome piece. I feel like the longer gameplay videos, it makes sense if it's like someone's doing an edit of a stream and you want to get all the juicy bits. And I mean, unfortunately, you know, with how my laptop is right now, I can't really do a whole lot of the streaming. I would love to try. I would love to try my hand again at streaming. It would have to be me playing PS4 again, like when I first started doing them. I feel like most of those videos are gone by now, but for those that don't know, I did used to try to do some streaming, maybe like a decade or so ago, and I kind of wish I kept up with it. I feel like that would have been a nice thing to do. Just life kept getting in the way. It wasn't happening. And now life's happening again, but in a way where I can do these kind of videos and hopefully get some streaming done. I just need to try and get a better laptop. That's my main focus. Aside from making sure my rent's paid, which I feel like that's a gimme. That should be the main focus. But like just being able to have a working system that doesn't feel like I'm running through molasses with every step I take. Because I tried doing a live stream the other day, shortly after uploading the Valgrace video, I believe. I tried doing a quick little live stream, and it lasted for all of 7 seconds, because my computer, it was not having any of that. It was not having any of that. And it sucks. It sucks. I feel like I do my best commentary, and I'm able to do my best kind of content and my jokes and quips when I'm able to play off of other people, and that's like the main point of streaming. Like you have somebody else there, and it's fun getting to interact with other people, especially watching other streamers that have a bit more clout, a bit more notoriety, and watching them get to banter with people and get to have fun. That just honestly, that seems like one of the greatest things in life, is just being able to banter with people and just have a good time, be able to do things that I enjoy doing, or that they enjoy doing, I enjoy doing. Being able to rant and ramble and try to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. It's fun. It's fun. And okay, I'm getting sick of these spike traps, because I feel like there's no way to get rid of them without destroying a bomb. I don't really have anything to throw. Like, usually there's a rock or something. At least that's what the tutorial was telling me, is that, oh, well, if you have a rock nearby, you can use that to fucking blow off your penis or something. And I'll be honest, I kind of need that. I kind of need my penis, so I would much rather hold on to it, but I can understand why someone might want to get rid of it. You know, they're not exactly the easiest things to deal with. Sometimes they're a bit temperamental. Sometimes they just don't do what you want them to do. Sometimes they do what you want them to do, but at the worst possible time. And you know, sometimes cleaning them up, it's yucky. It's kind of yucky. I'll be honest with you. I'll be the first person to admit it. I was wondering why I was making that gap so flawlessly. I didn't realize that there's this platform here. I thought that honestly, maybe the game was feeling pity for me and turned me into Jesus for a split second, or turned me into Chris Angel Mind Freak, and I'm levitating across buildings here. If anybody remembers that show, and I'm sure some of you do. I hope someone else out there remembers that kind of shit. My brain is just a endless trove of remembering dumb shit from the 2000s. I used to be obsessed with that show, and like Chris Angel and David Blaine especially. Anytime that dude had a special drop in, I was right there. That was the talk of the town for me. That was my Super Bowl. Which is wild. I don't even know why, because I feel like a lot of that was just, like, looking back on it now, like, yeah, I can see the entertainment value in it, but it's also just like, you can tell that it was trying to be it was kind of treating the viewer like a fucking moron. A lot of those shows were like that, just like I don't really know how to explain it. It's just the mid 2000s way of treating the consumer like they're a fucking moron. That's really the best way that I can put it. And I don't know, maybe that's just me reading too much into it. Which, I mean, that happens from time to time. I read into things like it would be my job to do some reading. And unfortunately, I don't get paid to read very much. Although, if anyone's hiring, I can read a mean set of tweets at any given moment. I think now is the time to get out of here. Let me move, please. Okay. So, we got to the end, so let's not say that level was a bust. Okay, enough of that. I hope there's a way to speed that up, because I'd be interested in learning more of that kind of stuff, but I also just kind of want to continue playing the game. And, well, I'm not playing the game if I keep making moves like that. There's no way I'm gonna be able to make it any further if I keep doing that. But with quick restart, and we progress. But I tell you what, man, I've been missing out. Like, I feel like if I played this game even a year or so ago, like this would have been top tier for me. This would have been all I talked about for a very long time. It just has that kind of aura about it. You know what also is... I was going to try to say something funny. I was too busy wasting all my ammunition. That was a dud run. I wasn't feeling it. The moment that spider came out and I used up my second rope, it was a dud run. And I can admit it. You can admit your faults. You can admit your flaws. It's okay. It's okay, ladies and gentlemen. We are not all perfect. We are all just trying to float on this large rock we call an Earth together, and it's okay to make mistakes every now and again, even when you're spelunking in the caves. But I tell you what, I do enjoy yapping about. And there's been a topic I've been wanting to talk about, because I brought it up in one of my previous videos. I think in the first set of these videos that I was making, I mentioned how Gorillaz released a new album called The Mountain. I hadn't listened to it at that time. I'm happy to report that I've listened to that album, and actually I've listened to it twice now. And I have to say, it might be one of their best albums to date. I know that might be heresy to some people. I know some people really love their debut and Demon Days and Plastic Beach especially. I know that one seems to be a hot button number for some, and I love all of those albums. I'm not saying that they are not phenomenal albums, but I'm saying that there's been a lot of hullabaloo about the new Gorillaz album and people trying to pretend like it's not a phenomenal album. And I gotta say, I don't think we're listening to the same album. Even with just Orange County alone, that's like easily top 5 songs from them. And I say that with no hyperbole. That might be one of the best songs that they've done. Maybe it might be annoying to some because whistling annoys me too out in the world, but I don't know, man. That song, it hits something different, and it hits something fierce. And there's a lot of damn good tunes on there. Even just the opening moment alone, like you put on a good pair of headphones, like you put on some nice, like I got some Samsons on, you put on some nice pair of headphones and you just sit and stew in that opening track, and I tell you what, that'll change your mind. You don't even need to be smoking reefer. You don't need to be doing no drugs to appreciate what they're putting on, at least with the first track alone, let alone the rest of the album. The rest of the album doesn't sound necessarily like that. I was talking to my buddy Tony about it, who hopefully he's watching these videos, and if not, you know, that's all cool. But I feel like he's one of the few people that does, so shout outs to Tony. He mentioned that the album kind of had a vibe of it being like Plastic Beach too, and honestly, yeah, I can kind of get that to a certain extent, especially what's the one track? The one track with Mos Def on it. Oh my God! Hold on. I don't know why that shit's not coming to me. Hold on. I'm gonna pause recording for a second. Okay, I'm back. Damascus. I know that one was. I'm back on the tab. I know that one was originally being worked on during the Plastic Beach era, and that definitely sounds like it could have fit pretty well on that. That one and the track just before that, Delirium, also feels like it would be an absolute shoo-in. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's got a very certain vibe to it that it's very. I think the main thing about this that makes it, honestly, I think it's better than Plastic Beach, by virtue of it not sounding plastic, which I get is, well, that's weird. Like, what's that supposed to mean? It's like if you, I recently re-listened to Plastic Beach the other day walking to work, and I realized that there's like no live drums on that album at all. A lot of it just kind of feels like drum machines, which isn't a bad thing. I'm far from saying that's a bad thing. But what I'm saying is that if I'm listening to Gorillaz, especially with their first two albums, it sounds like a lot of their drums are live drums or program drums at the very least, but they're live drums nonetheless. And I don't know if it was like an intentional decision to make them sound more cheap and robotic on Plastic Beach. I mean, I guess it fits with the theming of that album, given, I mean, even down to the name Plastic Beach. But I don't know, it felt like a lot of those songs could be elevated with just the simple addition of a drummer. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why I love Sweepstakes on that album so much, is because it does the the robotic kind of plastic repetitive nature of things, but then real drums get brought into the fray, and then it's like it just gives the songs some gravity that, wasn't there originally. I feel like if you went to see the band live around that time, and I know that they released a live album later on that same year when they dropped The Fall as well, and those, from what I remember of that live album, the Plastic Beach songs that they performed with the live drums went turbo hard, went unnecessarily harder than most other things that they were playing. So I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy the Mountain so much, is because it's like, hey, what if Plastic Beach had more live drumming and also the focusing on heavier topics. I mean, they've always been talking about death and loss and grief and whatnot. That's a very main course meal for Gorillaz. But I don't know, like having the added presence of collaborators that have genuinely passed, it 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 makes the album hit a lot harder. Like even if you don't look into the fact that, like the making of the album, because Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett, they lost parents at roughly the same time, so there's that theming throughout the whole album. Like even if you look past that, like just the presence of people like Marky Smith and Plug 2 and Dennis Hopper and so many people that are unfortunately no longer with us, like Tony Allen. It really brings an added gravity to the album that I think people are kind of intentionally trying to disregard. I think people are intentionally trying to find fault with the album, like, oh, it's another British band going to India and aping their style. It's like, that's not what I'm getting at all. Like, that's just not what I'm getting. Maybe, like I said, I'm just because I'm built different. I don't know, but it's a very atmospheric and heavy album, and the songwriting is on point. The production's on point. It feels like the band's firing on all cylinders again, and that's kind of what we've been needing from the Gorillaz project. We haven't had that a whole lot since what, Song Machine? And before that, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, since Plastic Beach, I didn't like Humans. I did not like Humans that much at all. I thought that it was just like, oh, we have an obligation to make another album, and it's like, it didn't feel like a Gorillaz album. It felt more like other people on an album that happened to be spearheaded by Damon Albarn. And it was frustrating. And it's like the song suffered as a result. It didn't feel like the head was fully in the game. It just felt like, oh shit, we need to tap in and release something so that way we can go on tour. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with releasing an album to go on tour, but it's also like, don't piss down my leg and say that it's raining, is all I'm saying. And I know that album has its defenders, and I'm not saying it's a bad album, but it's also just like, it's the album of theirs I go back to the least. And that's saying something, because Cracker Island, I think a lot of fans just, they despise that album. They despise Cracker Island. I thought it was okay. I'm not in love with it, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as people are pretending it is. But I can also completely understand why people don't necessarily like it, especially when you have acts like Bad Bunny in the fray. And I'm not well versed in Bad Bunny's work. I'll be one of the first people to admit it. I'm not that familiar in his work, but I feel like it's just so disingenuous to like, oh, well, we have that world in here, so the album's bad. We're inspired by things that aren't just what we were circling the drain in back in the 2000s and the 90s. It's like, it's never a bad thing to try to bring on new influences, even if the influences are newer, not necessarily things that we're used to. Like, I don't really listen to reggaeton. I don't really listen to trap. It's not like I have issue with those genres. I just never really find myself gravitating towards them, and I feel, and that's okay. Not every genre is every person's cup of tea, and that's okay. But to try and use that as a fault for why something else is bad because they're being influenced by it, it just seems disingenuous. It just seems like people looking for reasons to dislike something, and I think that that's so silly. It's like, we can all learn to embrace something even if we don't quite understand it. At the end of the day, it's not going to hurt us. It's like, embracing other cultures and other concepts and other ideas is not always a bad thing. And I feel like that's always kind of been Gorillaz' motif, even since the beginning. Like, you listen to the debut album, it's not all just Clint Eastwood. It's not all just 19-2000. Like the amount of oddball shit that pops up on that album, like Rock the House, like punk, like Starshine and Slow Country. Like, you mean to sit there and tell me like that's all like the Gorillaz project has always been about embracing things that aren't exactly the same? Because if it was all the same, if it was all sounding the same, if it was all doing similar sound, like, if you want all similar sound, then check out the Space Monkeys remix album, because then it's like, okay, then you get all dub, which is a heavy influence on the first album. And it's like, if that's what you liked about that first album, then congratulations, you get a full entire album with that. And it's a good remix album, don't get me wrong. But it's like, I enjoy... Variety is the spice of life. variety is a beautiful thing, and influence in things that aren't necessarily our lane is not always a bad thing. And I feel like that's a lesson we can all be learning. Because, shit, if that was the case, I probably wouldn't be playing Spelunky. I wouldn't be playing any video games at all right now if I wasn't influenced by trying something that isn't just a rhythm game. By trying something that isn't just a silly, like, arcade experience. It's like, how about something else? And then you get rewarded for it. And, yeah, I've been doing a whole lot of yapping about nothing to do with the game. But, we did get to World 1-2 again, which was the course of action. That was the main reason for continuing on. So, I appreciate you enjoying this yapping so far. The Gorillaz is just one of those bands I'm kind of passionate about. They've been a part of my life since the beginning, and the fact that they release an album so far into their career that's just so fucking phenomenal. It's like, honestly, it's something that I want to sing the praises of, excuse me. And I'm about to destroy the dog. I sacrificed myself to save the dog. Easy as that. It's nice to not want to be a hater, because while I'm of the firm belief that to truly enjoy something you kind of have to be a critic of it, and I'm not going to sit here and act like everything Gorillaz has done is infallible, but then like, there are times where it just seems like, are you a fan of the band, or are you only here just to see how much that you think that they can fall? And I feel like that's kind of a gross way of looking at things. And it's like that with most bands. It just seems like a lot of people only want them to stick around so you can point and laugh at them. And it's like what are you even here for? If that's your alma mater, then why are you here? Like, we only have a limited time on this weird rock planet, this weird space rock we're all hurtling on. Why spend it, like, just hate watching? Why spend it wanting to find something to nitpick about? It's like, yeah, you went into the Cracker Island and you didn't like it, so that means that the mountain's not good because you didn't like Cracker Island. And it's like, do you listen to yourself speak? Probably not. I don't listen to myself speak most of the time. I'm well okay with admitting that, because sometimes you just want to yap, and sometimes you just want to say shit and not really use the brain. And it's okay. It's okay to not want to use the brain. But sometimes you just got to smell the roses and really reevaluate what it is that you're doing with your time. And ask yourself if it's really a way you want to spend your time. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to waste my time, everyone else's time, by just being an asshole. It's like, if you're going to be an asshole, at least admit it. At least admit it to yourself. And then, stay out of the way of the people that actually want to properly engage with the things that they're listening to. They want to actually properly engage with the things that they, God forbid, enjoy. Like, that's the main reason I have with a lot of these fandoms, especially with, and I know I'm going to get some flack for it, but the Weezer fandom. It just seems like a lot of people that are in that fandom, they do it because they want to point and laugh at the band and see how it's just so awful. Everything's been so awful. They've never done anything good since Pinkerton. It's just like, do you have a brain, or no? Because I'm starting to think you don't have a brain. That's not to say, again, and I feel like you constantly have to make these statements whenever you're talking about topics like this, not saying that everything that that Weezer has done has been great. There's been a lot of stuff that I don't like, and it's okay to admit that there are things that bands you like do, things that you don't necessarily enjoy. But at the end of the game, if all they were doing was making Pinkerton 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, would it even be worth going back to and enjoying? I don't want to hear a band just be stagnated and just making the same shit over and over and over again. It's like that with any experience, with any streamer, with any director, with any actor, with any kind of format that is like a constant. It's like if all I was getting was that, what's the use? What's the fun in that? Like, I'm sorry that, Make Believe was given a low rating on Pitchfork, but like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Make Believe wasn't a bad album at all. We Are All on Drugs blows cock, yes. But I'm sorry, you're gonna sit there and listen to shit like Hold Me and Freak Me Out and Haunt You Every Day, and you're gonna tell me that's one of their worst albums to date when they've also dropped shit like Gratitude, when they've also dropped shit like the Teal album or the Black album. Like, I'd argue the last two that I mentioned are easily the two worst things the band has ever put out, and I'll rant about that till the cows come home if I need to, but I feel like this video's gone on long enough. It's been 36 minutes. I think it's time to call it here. I do appreciate you watching. Um, I do appreciate you listening to me ramble on and talk about Gorillaz. I, if you were here for the Spelunky gameplay, I'm sorry that that was taking more of a backseat here, but otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this long. And if you want me to start trying my hand at doing shorter videos, not a problem. I can try and keep points more concise, but sometimes when you get onto a path of thought, you just want to keep going down there and ramble on and just, it's nice to care about things, pretty much is what I'm getting at. It's nice to care about things, just like how I care about you specifically watching this. And I do mean that. If not for you, you know, would I be doing this? Probably not. But I enjoy trying to entertain, and you seem entertained because you made it this far. So I have to thank you for that. I thank you for helping me fulfill the goal that I'm setting out of just wanting to entertain people. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And, have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you again soon, and don't be a stranger. Bye bye.